A quick overview over the prepositions. The German prepositions cause a lot of confusion, so let's take a closer look at them so that the confusion can go away. Prepositions can be used in three ways. One way in a temporal sense, sense of time. Another way, sense of location, local sense. And in an arbitrary way, completely randomly. Beautiful, right? Let's take a look at the simple stuff, which is the temporal and local use of prepositions. Okay, let me walk you through the accusative prepositions quickly. So, entlang is a postposition. Ich gehe die Straße entlang, I walk along the street. Translation works, no problem, and along is a direction, right? So, very clear. Durch, through, direction. I walk through the park. Ich gehe durch den Park. No confusion. Means around in a temporal sense as well as a local sense. So ich komme 8, or if you want to stress that you're not exactly at 8 o'clock, ich komme so 8, I come around 8 o'clock. If you just say 8, that means exactly at 8. But let's assume the Germans are so precise that they say, when they say 8, they mean like a minute before, a minute after. Huh? Okay, means around. Ich gehe ums Dorf, ich gehe das Dorf, I walk around the village. Yeah? So, no confusion here. Für, entlang, durch, für. Für is a bit tricky. You only use für when you give something to someone and says, hey, that's for you. Or I will do that for you. Means instead of you. And that's the only time you're allowed to use für. Give you an example when you don't use it, and that's in a temporal sense. For example, I've been living in Germany for 10 years now. In Germany would simply say, ich wohne seit 10 Jahren in Deutschland. So you use a different preposition. Or, ich wohne schon 10 Jahre in Deutschland. And you see there is no für involved, no preposition at all. So instead of using für all the time, rather use nothing. Yeah? So with time, no für for you. Bis means until. Bis nächste Woche. Until next week. No confusion. Ohne. Ohne dich gehe ich nirgendwo hin. Without you, I will go nowhere. Ohne always means without, no confusion. Also no location or direction. Yeah, this is one of those that rarely cause any trouble. Okay, dative prepositions. Aus, bei, mit, nach, seit, von, zu, aus. From or out of. Bit tricky at times because from could also be von in German. But that's it. So if from doesn't mean aus or von, it means nothing. It belongs to the arbitrary prepositions. Yeah? So ich komme aus Deutschland, ich komme aus der Schule, I come from school. And you see, with German you have to use an article, aus der Schule. And in English you wouldn't say from the school. Bei. Bei, very clear, only with names. Ich arbeite bei Smarter German. Ich bin bei Michael. And that's it. So bei means at, but only in that sense, with names of companies or people or a supermarket. Ich bin bei Aldi, I'm at the Aldi store, and that's it. Please never use bei for anything else. Mit, with. What can we use? Ich schreibe mit dem Bleistift. I'm writing with a or with the pencil. Mit 90% of the times means with in English. There is one exception that comes to my mind already, but keep that in mind. Simply, ich fahre mit dem Auto. In English you would say I go by car. So that's a specialty, but that is as I said, that's rare. Rather think of mit as with and you will not be confused. Nach can be used in temporal or local sense. Ich komme nach 10 Minuten in den Raum zurück. After 10 minutes I'll come back into the room. No confusion. Ich fliege morgen nach Berlin. Tomorrow I'll fly to Berlin. Also no confusion. So in a local sense, please use nach only with cities and countries. Nach Berlin, nach Deutschland, and that's it. For other locations, rather use zu, which covers the majority of your needs. Aus, bei, mit, nach, seit means since. Since is a bit special, just a little insight here. Since let's say for you, can never be used in the past. It's not completely true, but for you that's true enough. Yeah? Because since means something is still going on. And if you use the past in German, that means it's past, it's over, so you cannot really combine it. You can combine it if you talk about the past, about something that was still going on. Let's keep that for when it appears in your life, and then you can ask that question in the comments. Yeah? One example, ich lebe schon seit vielen Jahren in Berlin. I've been living in Berlin for many years now. And you see, I translate the since into for because it's more appropriate. Yeah? Von, from. Ich komme von der Arbeit, ich komme von der Schule, I come from work, I come from school. As you can see and hear, Germans use an extra article here that's different. Other than that, no confusion. And you come from places, not von Berlin oder von Deutschland. We never use that. So from places. Yeah? Zu means 99% of the time means to, in whatever sense you can think of it. So, ich gehe zur Arbeit, zu der Arbeit, I go to work. Again, an extra article in German, but that's it. Yeah? Ich komme zu dir, I come to you, no confusion. Now, two-way prepositions. Vor, hinter, über, unter, nebenan, zwischen, auf und in. You've learned those hopefully very well before. Vor means in front of or ago. Yeah? Ich stehe vor der Tür. I'm in front of your door. I'm in front of the door. Vor 10 Jahren sah ich besser aus. 10 years ago, I looked better. That's the meaning of vor. If it doesn't mean that, you're in the confusion part. Hinter, behind. Yeah? Mainly used in a local sense. Ich stehe hinter dir. I'm right behind you. Vor und hinter. Über, above. Remember, auf, touches. Above, hovers. Über. So, der Nachbar über mir. The neighbor above me. No confusion. Über can also mean about and is pretty reliable there. For example, ich habe ein Buch über die deutsche Kultur gelesen. I've read a book about the German culture. So, über also very reliably means about, but that's also rather part of the confusion sector. For hinter, über, unter the same. Unter meiner Wohnung ist eine Kita. So below my flat or under my flat there is a Kita, which is a place for young kids, like an early kindergarten. Also in a local sense. Yeah? And what else do we have? Über, unter, neben. Neben means next to. Ich gehe neben dir. I walk next to you. Ja, oder ich stelle mich neben dich. I stand next to you. I put myself standing next to you. No confusion. An is the same as neben, but with touching, basically, theoretically. Ich sitze an meinem Tisch. I'm sitting at my desk. Imagine you have a little belly that touches the desk. Yeah? It's always am Tisch, yeah? Or an den Tisch. The whole matter of two-way prepositions should be clear by now. If not, make sure that you refresh that. Temporal sense. Ich komme am Samstag. Am is simply an plus dem combined, am. So it's the same meaning. So ich komme am Samstag oder am Wochenende, on the weekend, at the weekend. Wherever you come from, yeah? Even the English speakers are not on the same page here. But for German, an plus the day. An, zwischen, in between, ich stehe zwischen diesen Damen und der Wand. It's a location. And it means between or in between always. Also, if you choose between something, that's the confusion part, but it means between, no confusion, basically, because it is used the same way as in English. Now, zwischen, auf means on top. Yeah? So, ich sitze auf dem Stuhl, I'm sitting on top of the chair. And that's it. If you say ich sitze am Stuhl, That means you're sitting next to the chair touching it. That's rather not the case. Yeah, very rarely. Zwischen auf and in, inside. In means inside. So in a local sense. So ich bin in der Küche, I'm in the kitchen. While in a temporal sense, ich komme in 3 Tagen, I'll come in 3 days from now. Also no problem, same meaning. So these were the clear meanings, yeah, when it shouldn't cause any more confusion to you. Now let's go into the twilight zone where all these prepositions, or some of these at least, can be used without any sense. One example, ich warte auf den Bus. You simply need auf because of warten. Warten requires it. Another one is ich denke an meine Freundin. I am thinking of my girlfriend. So denken and an. And you see in English you say of, but it has no connection to an. An cannot be translated. So you have to learn that instead of of in English, you say an in German. No sense, no meaning. This topic is called verbs with prepositions. There's also adjectives and nouns with prepositions, which I will provide you with in this course as well, of course. But don't necessarily invest too much time in learning lists. I give you a couple of examples in form of a memorized course, and you should possibly learn the top 20 of each and then simply look out for them in real life so that you can fit them into a context that is relevant. So, to sum this up, to shorten this, whenever a preposition means something, the meanings are clear to you. You learn these meanings by heart and then there's no more confusion. Good, no stress. A couple of special cases I've pointed out. Whenever they don't make sense after you've learned those by heart, then they belong to the part verbs with prepositions and simply need to be learned by heart. How to do that I've shown you in the A1 to B1 course of mine, or you hopefully had a teacher who showed you how to learn that. Yeah, because that's the job of a teacher in my eyes. I hope this gives you a little clarity. It's a bit longer video, but there was a lot of confusion. I hope this makes it clearer to you. Dankeschön für deine Aufmerksamkeit und weiterhin viel Vergnügen mit deinem Deutsch.